have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look, living it fast, spinning my M in the bag. I never go slow, thinking I'll crash. End up a thing in the past, they know I won't though. Big fish catching me, they gon' need a bigger boat. Ironic how the world stops when I spin a globe. Always showing up, right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up, right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center.
B.O.D. Get the spell check, a fact check, and prevent errors going up. See the bent lever, jalapeno hot, y'all just red peppers. All y'all copy copies, but I'm left center. And your shorty glitching on me like a text center. Hit her with a French tenor. Crazy, wait until I do the next record. I leave head severed, I don't need to hit the bench ever. But if I do, I'm PRing to the next level. Condo flights to Lufthansa. Already know who you people fans of. Call me Big Daddy in a big body Wrangler. Call me Big Daddy Adam Sandler. Bullseye, aiming for a cottage with a poolside, full size.
Always showing up, right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up, right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look, living it fast, spinning my M in the bag. I never go slow, thinking I'll crash. End up a thing in the past, they know I won't though. Big fish catching me, they gon' need a bigger boat. Ironic how the world stops when I spin a globe. Always showing up, right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up, right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center.
B.O.D. Get the spell check, a fact check, and prevent errors going up. See the bent lever, jalapeno hot, y'all just red peppers. All y'all copy copies, but I'm left center. And your shorty glitching on me like a text center. Hit her with a French tenor. Crazy, wait until I do the next record. I leave head severed, I don't need to hit the bench ever. But if I do, I'm PRing to the next level. Condo flights to Lufthansa. Already know who you people fans of. Call me Big Daddy in a big body Wrangler. Call me Big Daddy Adam Sandler. Bullseye, aiming for a cottage with a poolside, full size.
Always showing up, right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up, right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye. those I hit it the most is no misses. Something like this.
That is not the correct screen. Why did it do that? That's the correct screen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Geeks and Noobs. I don't know why it did that. I'm going to have to fix that. But we are here, the Geeks and Noobs, our flagship podcast, brought to you by SeatGeek. Of course, SeatGeek is the absolute best place to get your tickets, whether it be a concert, wrestling show, comedy show, sporting event, whatever it may be. Make sure that you go to SeatGeek. They have a color-coded, easy-to-tell system. Green means go, great deal. Red means slow down, bad deal. But if you really desperately need a ticket and it's the only one left, you can still get it there. Also, use the code SuperBeard at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Now, as I know some of you may think it's weird that Kel is not paying any attention to us whatsoever, but that is okay because he's doing a little bit of last-minute research into our topic for today. No, we are not watching TNA, although I am working on something that eventually we will. But Thursdays are our Geeks and Noobs podcast, our flagship podcast on Thursday nights, where we talk movies, comics, TV, stuff like that. And today, what's up, Keegan, is a particularly interesting one as we will be covering the brand new Venom: The Last Dance trailer. Now, Sony has had, I'll put this in the nicest way I can, a very interesting track record with the Spider-Man projects that are separate from Spider-Man himself. Of course, the first two Venom movies were huge hits, although not critically and audience-wise universally loved. I mean, they're hit or miss in far as who likes it and who doesn't. But then you've got Morbius, which is an absolute train wreck. But that is The Godfather compared to Madam Web, which is one of the worst movies I have ever seen. And when I say that, I mean it in every aspect, from cinematography to editing to audio to acting to script to concept. It's just bad in every way you look at it. It's just bad. But then you have the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse films, which are phenomenal and some of the best Spider-Man movies you've ever seen. And of course, the solo Tom Holland Spider-Man films, which are Sony films, but Kevin Feige has a major heavy hand in those. Kel's in the middle of an earthquake right now, so don't mind him.
Yep, don't mind me.
But it is Kel McCosplay here with SuperBeard, and we are here on the Geeks and Noobs, ready to talk about this trailer that, again, it's interesting. Before we actually dive into the trailer itself, Kel, let me get your initial thoughts on the trailer, and I'll kind of break down my initial feelings on it as well.
All right. Well, I just watched it just a little while ago before we started, and my thought is, my God, this looks cheesy as hell. I mean, not like you. I don't think it's going to be like a terrible movie, and there'll probably be some laughs, but this is not the Venom I wanted, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing when you take such an iconic character, like, yeah, it's okay to like change characters a bit for cinematic purposes. I mean, if you look at Iron Man, the way Tony Stark is played by Robert Downey Jr., the comics for many years played him as a very stoic and serious character and not this kind of egotistical character. I mean, he was like late 80s, early 90s. He kind of went more into that role. But you make changes. You're going to make changes. Because it's a separate universe and everything. It's okay. Which, by the way, Make Them by Night has a very important question here that I think everybody needs to think about. Why are they called apartments if they're all together? Inquiring minds want to know. But like, you know, like, but then you look like we've talked about this before. I think the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix. you take out every reference to the comic books, the name, the Joker, the Gotham City, the Waynes. That movie's a 10 out of 10. It's a phenomenal film about mental health and delusions of grandeur and stuff like that. Making it about the Joker, this iconic villain, and just it kills the entire film for me. Because you already have an idea in your mind. And again, I can accept changes. I can accept, molding the character to fit, a new universe and film. But there should still be more shared aspects of the character than new aspects. It should closely resemble what we're used to while bringing in some change. I think one of the best examples of that is the PS4 Spider-Man game.
Yes.
That is a separate version of Spider-Man. Its timeline does not line up with the comic book Spider-Man or the movie Spider-Man. None of them. It is its own story. And yet it captures the essence of Spidey. Like, it feels like Spider-Man. I don't even really notice the differences.
Yeah. It's like from this trilogy from the get-go, the Venom trilogy has not felt like Venom.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it shares similar story plot points, and I will reiterate that plot points. It's like they just want to take this point and try to connect it, and that doesn't make a good story.
No. And I think the worst part is that they're not leaning into the Venom like that we all know and love. Even if you're wanting to make him an anti-hero and not a villain, had they leaned into the end of his run before his solo series, like his time with Spider-Man, when he finally started to realize that maybe I need to be a better person, they are leaning more into the Lethal Protector storylines, which it's really cheesy 90s bad comics. Like, the Lethal Protector series is not good. And I never thought so. That's the foundation they're using instead of using, like, the foundation with, like I said, the tail end of his time with Spidey, and then, like, some stuff after that. Like, there's so much to pick from and choose from when he was grown into a much better character. And instead, they're choosing, like, the worst time in his character arc. And then they're splintering off of that into their own ways. But when you're using a bad premise as a basis, it's hard to get back to good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and that's exactly like why we love Moon Knight so much, because they took reference from Jeff Lemire's run, which is the be all end all.
Absolute best
of Moon Knight.
Absolute best run of Moon Knight for sure. But again, they were able to take it, keep the essence of it, and make it their own. So it fit into the universe that they had already established. And so they didn't bastardize the character. Jacob, when you say who booked Venom better for a movie, I'm thinking you mean who would play Venom better for a movie. I've always, like, as soon as Tom Hardy was cast, I was like, hell yes. I think he can play a great Eddie Brock. The problem is they don't write Eddie Brock as Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
If they had written him as a more extroverted version of who Tom Hardy played in, say, The Warrior. So if you take the character he played in The Warrior but made him an extrovert instead of an introvert, that's Eddie Brock. Mm-hmm. That would have worked. Instead, they've made him this kind of ridiculous wannabe journalist, wannabe, hard-hitting guy, but he's just dumb. And he's ridiculous, and even when he's not drunk, he seems like he's drunk all the time now.
Yeah.
Because of the symbiote, and that's weird. Happy birthday, Keegan. That's right. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday from the Geeks and Noobs. Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Happy birthday, Keegan. So yeah, I find and again, I like the first Venom film. It's just kind of it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't beyond that, it's not much. But no, we are not doing a TNA watch along. It's fun. It is what it is. The second one I had high hopes for, especially with Andy Serkis getting to direct it, but he was, strong armed by Sony, micromanaging the whole situation, and I think that's going to happen again in this film, and we'll get to that in a second as we break down this trailer, because there are some plot holes already. Like, I shouldn't be able to see major plot holes in the first trailer. You know what I mean? Like, you should not be able to see major plot holes in the first trailer. So, that being said, let us go ahead and get this trailer ready to go. As soon as I can figure out how to get it going. There we go. All right, and here we go. And there's no sound.
Home has found us.
You should probably know that I have a really dark and unpredictable side to me.
Stop speaking.
I'm giving you a chance, sweetie.
Say when.
When?
What are you?
We are.
We're Venom!
We are.
Venom!
No.
Oh!
Yeah, we
are
Venom. We're gonna need to work on that.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there. One, I liked the action scene there.
Yeah, the action was good.
I liked he pulled Eddie out of his symbiote and used him to drop kick somebody. I thought that was a cool tag team thing. That was pretty cool. I like that. They've already done the We Are Venom thing in the first film. How were they not on the same page after what they've been through the last two films all of a sudden? Like,
I really hate Venom's enthusiasm.
That regression is ridiculous, and you're right. I don't like. Again, it's the Lethal Protector storyline.
Yeah,
and that's not a good one. What's going on, JR? But at the same time, this movie is not yet rated, and right in the trailer we get him beheading 4 people, biting their heads off. So there is a chance for a hard PG-13, or maybe even they push it to an R, considering that Deadpool and Wolverine's going to come out rated R. So Sony might be able to look at that and go, okay, because every Venom film, when shot, has an R-rated cut. Every time they've done it, they've had to edit extra out to bring it down from R to PG-13.
Yeah, if
so they wouldn't
Let
have
There Be Carnage had been rated R, it might have been a good film.
Yeah, that's what Andy Serkis was going for. And
because we did not see that psychopath mentality from Cletus Cassidy, Woody Harrelson's character. Woody Harrelson.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson. Yeah, which we all know. You've seen Natural Born Killers. I mean,
exactly.
That's why. Again, that's another one of those castings where I was like, as soon as he was cast, as soon as they had that little teaser in the first one of him being Cletus Cassidy, I was like, yes, please. Woody Harrelson is Cletus
all
Cassidy.
Day.
Hell yeah, all day, every day. But like this this character regression in the third film and the final film, this is your trilogy film. Like, this is it. They've made
this
it very
is your
clear.
swan song.
This is it. I mean, it's literally called The Last Dance. Why are you having the character regress?
And plus, why did they steal the title from Magic Mike?
Yeah, the Michael Jordan documentary.
Yeah,
although admittedly, let's be real. The Last Dance is something that's been around for ages as a statement. So I can't say that it was the Michael Jordan documentary that did it first, because there's literally movies called The Last Dance and stuff like that. And the thing is,
Yeah,
is
wasn't
like,
the third Magic Mike called The Last Dance?
I don't think that's come out yet.
No, it has.
Has it?
Yeah,
How did I miss
like
that? How did
last
I miss
year.
that? How did I miss that? I thought they were still working on
But
it, but
no, you didn't miss anything. That movie sucks.
did it? Because I like the first two.
Yeah, my wife did too, but she's like, this movie sucks ass.
I like the first. The first two were actually very well done films.
Yeah, they were, but there were not.
Okay, but the thing is like there's an old classic movie called The Last Dance that I kind of want to go back and watch because I'm wondering if maybe they leaned a little bit into that, because we're seeing that a lot lately too, where a lot of classic films are becoming the almost like the foundations for new films. Like, hey, this film is inspired by this one very heavily. I mean, hell, even as we mentioned before, the Joker, Todd Phillips, the Joker is Taxi Driver with clown makeup. So it's also the comedian in clown makeup. Jam Sparts, it is Thursday. Thursday is the Geeks and News podcast, our flagship podcast where we talk movies, comics, and TVs. That is what we're doing. I don't know.
I want to make a geek flag just so when you say flagship podcast, I can just wave it around.
Jam, it's because we did take some time off. That might be why you've never seen it. We took some time off for the move and everything. We took like a month and a half, 2 months off. So that could be why you've never seen it. I'm checking something real quick because for some reason my Twitter isn't, or my Twitch, God damn it, my Twitch is not working on my computer. Yeah, we do. Well, we also do the wrestling 3 times a week and also pay-per-views. So that could be part of it too. But as you are what you are, you came on during our Thursday hiatus. So that's why you were not familiar with the Geeks and News. But this is our flagship podcast. I'm probably going to make like a t-shirt with a battleship with a big flag on it with our logo on it. And then the Geeks and News flagship podcast.
Or no. Do the raising of the flag at oh God, what was that famous photo where they putting the flag in during World War II?
Oh, Iwo Jima?
Iwo Jima, yeah. Do that.
But there's no ship.
Fair.
I could do the crossing the Delaware picture with the big flag.
Ooh, yeah. Me, you, and the Booka.
Yeah, we could do that. I could do that. That'll work. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's get back to this trailer. Jam, I hope you feel better, sir. I'm sorry you're super sick, but you're more than welcome to lurk. Lurk all you want. I don't know why this is not working. Hang on a second.
I've got to pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, it's working everywhere else. It's just on my little side computer that I use here. For some reason, it is not working.
Hey, we got you too, Jam. Thanks very much. Thanks for popping in. Feel better, Bo. Feel better.
All right, let me go this route. And we'll go back that way. Okay. It's fine, whatever. It's working everywhere else. That's all that matters. Okay, let's go back to this trailer.
Bless us! You take me to all the finest places.
I need time off.
We always knew it was impossible. That we were alone in the universe.
Okay, so we have oh shit, I forget her name. She's from Ted Lasso. But she's playing Dr. Payne, which could be a character from the Spidey comics. That was a doctor who tortured people and tortured Venom specifically for quite some time doing studies. And the name Dr. Payne was a play on the fact that they were born with that particular genetic disorder where you don't feel pain ever. So that's, Dr. Payne doesn't feel pain. They have gender
irony.
Yeah, they've gender bent the character. Now I don't know if she will be evil. It doesn't seem that way. It seems like she might be the voice of reason on this side. At least from this trailer. Maybe we'll find out later that I'm completely wrong. I absolutely love The Boys, and we will watch it once it comes out. And that's Chiwetel Ejiofor, who many people in the geekosphere know as Baron Mordo from Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. However, it has been confirmed that he is not Baron Mordo, because this is not part of the 616. This is outside. This is the other universe. What's going on, young Neff? We're just breaking down the new Venom 3, Venom the Last Dance trailer. So, this is completely separate from the MCU, but there's a plot hole coming up that we're going to get to here shortly. Actually, I want to stop before we get it. This is the plot hole coming up, but I did not see the new mask. Going back a second. Oh, not that far. Oh, wait. Let me go here. So there's actually 5 symbiotes shown. It's very quickly done here. But there are 5 symbiotes shown. And their colors do seem to represent the 5 that, birth from Carnage and go after Venom, like Scream, and we know Toxin's going to be one of the major villains in this film, and, stuff like that. Except for Toxin isn't actually one of those 5. But these 5 are those 5 that are shown from the very clip. No WWE show today. So, I thought this was interesting, but we're also... I went too far. I'll let it play out. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Okay. So, this is the major plot hole. So, this is Danny Rojas, also from Ted Lasso, funny enough. But he was the bartender in the mid-credit scene from Spider-Man No Way Home, where Eddie is there getting drunk and learning that he's in a new universe and learning of all the secrets and the superheroes of that universe before he is sent back to his own universe. When he leaves a bit of the symbiote behind. However, if you were to compare those two scenes side by side, the backdrop is different. The rest of the bar is the same, but the backdrop is different. And if you noticed, when Eddie got warped into the MCU at the post-credit scene for what was that movie? The one where he's in a hotel room and he licks the screen when it shows Spider-Man.
Wasn't
Morbius.
that Carnage? Oh, was it Morbius?
Was it Morbius? No, it was Carnage. You're right. Let There Be Carnage. Let There Be Carnage. The room is all disheveled and broken down, and then when he warps into the MCU version of the hotel, the roof gets clean and the walls get nicer, so it's a nicer version of the same hotel in Mexico. So it could be that this is the rundown version in his universe of that thing. Problem is, that symbiote was left behind. Now, it could be that he dropped another piece of his symbiote because he's starting to shed because of the impending invasion, but I agree with Eric Voss on New Rockstars here. He does a whole video on this particular issue. It's better and more probable to lean on the side of incompetence when it comes to Sony. It's not often that they play 4D chess. So this could be that they didn't understand the multiverse situation in the first place. Kevin Feige, by the way, has nothing to do with this film, unlike the Spider-Man solo films. Now, whilst No Way Home was a Sony Pictures project that they were heavily involved in, it was also Kevin Feige, and he was heavily involved in as well, and Amy Pascal. Whereas she doesn't really have much to say about this film. He has zero say about this film, and this is purely Sony on their own. So I would like to give Sony the benefit of the doubt that they're actually doing something here, but like Eric Voss says, it's better to lean on the side of incompetence and get surprised later on than to lean on the side of the 4D chest and then be disappointed.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up too high, folks. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, I very much see this as a massive plot hole.
Oh yeah,
right away. But we'll see. It is interesting that they do put this in the trailer.
I got to rant a little bit about one thing. I got to rant about one thing real quick, and it's been bugging me for like the last 20 plus years. Is that in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, we get introduced to Eddie Brock, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But they already mentioned Eddie Brock in the first film.
Well, that was long before we ever gave thought of building a universe beyond sequels. Like, they never expected to even get a sequel out of this film, much less a trilogy. Because at that point,
I know,
remember,
but still, it just irritates the hell out of me every time I see it.
Well, you got to remember, at that time, the most successful superhero film had been Blade, and that was a fluke.
Yeah.
Because the other movies had really sucked. Superhero films didn't work. So they were just taking a shot in the dark.
Superman and Batman.
And even then, the first ones of those worked. And then the sequels didn't. Although the Donner cut of Superman 2, I think, is a phenomenal film. But that was also the studios getting involved and causing an issue. And you have frozen with your eyes closed, sir. Uh-oh, I think we lost Kel for a bit. Oh, no.
Okay, we're back.
Okay, you're back.
Okay.
Cam, what's going on? We're doing a Venom 3 trailer breakdown.
Oh god, I can't. Who directed Tobey's Spider-Man films?
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, yeah. I mean, he even put the line in there that he's been working on getting pictures of Spider-Man all week in the first film, and then you introduce him like we never knew it existed in the third.
Here's the other thing about that. That was done solely as an Easter egg for fans because Sam Raimi hates Venom as a character and was never planning on using him.
That's true.
He was forced to use him in the third film. He was forced to.
Yeah.
So that was just an Easter egg. Because don't forget, the Captain America shield we see in Iron Man 2, the prototype shield, that was not meant to be anything more than an Easter egg. That was literally the art department going, "Hey, let's throw this in there." Even the MCU, as great as it
just pisses me off because of the lack of continuity. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, even then, like the thing, it's not truly lack of continuity either in those films, because Eddie isn't new as a photographer when he shows up in the third one. He's just freelance, and he lost his job.
You go back and you act like you've never mentioned this character before, but you did.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Is like he was freelance only, and he worked for multiple papers until he got a deal with the rival paper, but had just gotten fired. He talked about how he had locked in a deal, but then got fired, which is why he came to the Daily Planet. And as he says, I do believe he says, I came back to, the Daily Bugle, sorry. He says, I've come back to the Daily Bugle. So it does play into him already being mentioned before.
Still.
As a because the thing is, he's a freelancer. It's the same reason that Peter doesn't have a job there solidified. Peter is technically a freelancer as well. He's not on the payroll. He gets paid per picture. So he's not a staff photographer. He is a freelance photographer. And that's what Eddie was early on. And then he went on to go do... Peter basically got his job because he went and got an actual job with like an actual staff job. I know I'm diving a lot more into what they explain, but that's kind of it, because he mentions getting fired from his staff job and coming back to the Daily Bugle. But as a freelancer, he probably never even stepped foot in that office before, which is why him hitting on Betty Brant, and like, oh, who are you, da-da-da, he probably never really even stepped foot in. He probably mailed his stuff in. So I'm not that worried about that one.
Okay, still, it just drives me crazy every time I watch him. And maybe I just didn't pay enough attention.
Yeah, it's one of those things I can see when looking back. You're like, hey, wait a minute, but yeah.
I noticed that my first watch.
So Corey, Kel is not new. Kel has been here for almost 3 years now.
Yep.
Moon Knight. Whenever Moon Knight came out is when you started, which I think it was like two and a half years ago.
22.
So 2 years.
2022.
So 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. It was May of 2022. That's right. So you've been.
Yep.
We just hit your two-year anniversary actually.
Mhm.
A lot of you came on board during a time when we had to take a hiatus from this particular podcast because of the move and everything else. We took Thursdays off for about 2-3 months, but we are back. And Kel is a cornerstone here at the TGN networks, and he'll pop in every now and then when we start doing subathons or keep doing subathons again. He'll pop in from time to time, so you'll see him.
Yeah, if you give
Which,
me
by the way-
enough advance notice.
Yeah. Don't forget, everybody. The weekend of June 15th, we are doing another subathon.
Okay.
So we're gonna start doing them once a month. I think the way it's gonna work out is we're gonna start doing them once a month. So we have another subathon coming up the weekend of June 15th. So everybody keep
I'll
that.
see
in
if I
mind
can get some days off and I'll come down for that one.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, I got a new chair that folds out into a bed.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have it's like a cot, but it's actually the chair is quite comfy. It's a little low, but it's fine. It'll just make me feel tall compared to you. So that's it. But yeah, so back to the trailer. This is a massive plot hole, which, I mean, and honestly, this scene could get cut from the film. You know what I mean? How often do we see trailers where there's scenes, especially when it comes to studios like Fox before they got bought out and Sony, where they like to do that kind of stuff. Oh, we lost Kel again. We'll give him a second. Oh, he'll be back in a moment. We lost Kel again. There he is. What's going on with your connection, brother?
Yeah, no, I didn't lose internet. It just kicked me straight out.
I wondered if there's something going on with your internet, like in the area, like they're doing something that's kind of slowing you down. Because what it seems like that it's like it's not that you're losing connection completely, but your internet is like your rate is dropping for some reason. Because you'll get like very staticky, then it cuts off. But whatever, we'll see. We'll get through it. All right, let's get back to the trailer. If I can find my mouse.
Yeah, let's go.
And it's our job to make sure that remains a secret.
Let's go get him. Oh, shit!
Okay, I'm going to stop here. So, Chiwetel's character in this is supposed to be a guy, I forgot his name, but he was the director of a group called The Jury. And The Jury were a group of basically, for lack of a better term, super soldiers. They weren't like, they didn't have super strength or anything like that. They had super tech. They had high-end tech. We're going to see more of it in this trailer. Kind of designed basically to go after symbiotes. Because a symbiote kills the director's son. And it seems that that's what Chiwetel's character is going to be. He is that guy, and they're going to go that route, which is why he's so angry going after him. Now, back to my earlier point about Dr. Payne. She might be a villain. Her line about keeping aliens a secret is very like government coded and very villainous coded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know better than the public. I know better than people. I know we need to keep them a secret, and by any means necessary, including wiping them out if we have to. That's how it seems. Also, in that scene building up to that, they've been tracking Eddie Brock for a while.
Yeah, you see them watching him on CC cameras.
Yeah, they've been tracking him.
In the little Mexico town that he's in. So yeah, they've been tracking him for a good while. Also, if you look at the side of her neck, she has like scars, and I don't know if that's going to be like from her trying to feel pain or feel anything, or if it could be like maybe she was actually attacked by Carnage or Venom at one point and was an innocent bystander. So
or another symbiote. Because it could have been toxin, because they have. We'll find out later on.
Could have been also.
They've been
Could have
experimenting.
also been that the symbiote from the first film. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I forgot which one he was too. Because unfortunately he was forgettable.
Yes.
But toxin, that is something I think it looks almost like a poisonous. It looks actually like a lightning scar. Like if you get struck by lightning, it's the kind of scar you get. But it could be a poison scar too, because poison, especially in like superhero movies, tends to go through the veins like that.
Mm-hmm.
We always see it, and she's been experimenting on toxin for a while. Apparently, they have him captured. So maybe he got to her, and maybe she didn't feel it right away because she doesn't feel pain, which is why it got so far up before she was able to stop. Or maybe she purposely let him inject her to see what he can do. You know what I mean? Because each symbiote has their own abilities.
Yeah, it has the same thought.
She is the biggest question for me throughout this trailer. Is what we're going to get from her and who she's going to actually be and what side she stands on. Or does she ride the middle? It was Riot in the first film. Thank you.
Riot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, by the way, Riot, one of the worst symbiotes that we've ever gotten. So for him to be the kind of big villain in the first one was like, really?
Is it bad enough that is it bad to say that Riot was more Carnage-like than Carnage?
That's true too.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Yeah, and also Riot couldn't do what Carnage did with the weapons from his body thing.
Well, he made blades, just like Carnage.
In the movie, he did. In the comics, Riot couldn't do that.
Well, in the comics, I don't know Riot from the comics.
Riot is like he's the worst. He's basically kind of a Hulk ripoff. He's just got strength. Like he's one of the worst symbiote spawns. He really is. But these are the jury, and I like that their look is very like current army military, but also very much the jury aesthetic from the comics. Which don't forget, the jury was developed in the 90s when everything was ridiculous and over the top. You know, so their look to be able to bring a look into real life that makes sense. I think this is done well.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think we're going to see some extra tech here coming up, actually.
Yeah.
We are fugitives.
Right here.
On the run. In the shit.
Beyond the dream, my friend.
Right there.
No!
So yeah, that was some jury tech they're using, you know, not just electrical shock, but I believe that there's more, because electrical shock shouldn't affect Venom. The things that affect Venom are fire and sonic energy, sound waves, that kind of thing. So it could be a special form of electrical shock. Maybe, again, remember I told you the lightning in her neck? It could be toxin-based. Like they developed the weapons off of what toxin can do, which would affect another symbiote. Toxin very much affects symbiotes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is. I don't think we're going to get an anti-Venom because this is the last film. Not to say that we don't get him eventually, because I still hold out hope that Tom Holland will get his own version of Venom symbiote and all that stuff. We have a new trilogy coming with them. Tom Holland is very much involved in creative now when it comes to Spider-Man. Like he's there from the very beginning now. He's even mentioned that how he's so lucky to be now so early in the process that he was never involved with before. Also, Kevin Feige's very deep in it. Amy Pascal. So like the right people are involved with this new trilogy of films that are coming out with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. And catching rogue symbiote pieces, like we see in that one plot hole, still could allow eventually for it. Because it depends on how Secret Wars plays out and how the multiverse collapses. Because the multiverse saga is finite. We're going to get an end to it. And we're going to drop out of the multiverse area into a more kind of cohesive thing. Will Sony play along? I don't know. We know how Sony gets. It is amazing that we have this kind of collab that we're getting with Marvel and Sony with Spider-Man and all that, but we'll see. There is that possibility, Uncle Howdy. What if Venom: The Last Dance drops Eddie into the MCU? Or maybe not so much drops Eddie into the MCU, but maybe it reveals the MCU version of Eddie Brock. Just like how we have multiple versions of Prowler, including the Donald Glover one that we got in Homecoming, which also could lead to Miles Morales. Now, I've seen people talk about how they believe that the new trilogy will lead to Miles Morales. Maybe by the end of the third one. I don't think we get Miles Morales right away.
No, I don't think we should either.
No, we just got through 3 films creating the true origin of this Spider-Man. Let's get adventures with this Spider-Man. Now you could introduce, you could introduce Miles and maybe even his spider bite at the very end as a post-credit scene to the sequel, the second film in this.
Yeah, just like in Spider-Man for PlayStation 4.
Yes, exactly. So
I mean, that was brilliant in my opinion.
Yeah, and then you spend the third film with a Miles sub-story and leading to Miles and Spider-Man, meeting up towards the end. And then this is where Spider-Man starts to teach him. And then you spend the fourth film more focused on Miles, with Spider-Man kind of training him and then passing the mantle that way. Because by that point, 3 films from now, Tom Holland will be close to 30. By that point. So he'll be ready to maybe pass on the mantle, even though that's young. But for a Spider-Man character, it's not as young. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to play Tony Stark into your 40s. It's one thing to play Captain America into your 40s. It's another thing to play Spider-Man into your 40s. Like,
yeah, because not even Marvel Comics themselves want a 40-year-old Spider-Man.
I think the oldest he's ever been listed at is 36. And
yeah,
except for like those like end of the world storylines, the ones where he is an old man, a grandpa, and whatnot. Like in like main continuity, I think the oldest he's ever been, and that was retconned. I think it was in his mid-30s, and again that was retconned. So,
how old would he have been in like the spin-off Spider-Girl series?
Well, 1, that's a different universe. 2, because that's
yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a different universe. But that one, he is. I think that one he might be in his 40s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That one. But I don't think his age is ever like fully like talked about. He just happens to be the dad of a 17-year-old girl. But either they could drop Tom Hardy in as, but I also like, I almost think it wouldn't work with Tom Hardy in the MCU just because I think Kevin Feige would want him to play it differently. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I think he'd want him to play him more because, let's be real, Eddie's a jock. He's a bodybuilder. He is, just a kind of douchey guy that learns his lesson eventually and becomes this great hero. Like, if you read modern Venom comics, he's actually now the god of the symbiotes, by the way. But Eddie was far more important to the symbiote and their entire storyline than just Venom. It turns out that Eddie was like the true key himself, and even though others have held the symbiote, like Flash Thompson, who Agent Venom is a great character, Eddie is the key. And he becomes a father, and he becomes a humble man, and he battles through cancer and all these other things that happen to him, and creates this wonderful character that I think Kevin Feige would lean more into those characteristics. You know what I mean?
Yep. Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
If they did bring Eddie into the MCU, would you want him to be like if Tom Hardy did get, or let's say it like this. If Venom, not Eddie, but Venom got into 616 universe, would you want Eddie to be recast?
I would. I love Tom Hardy, but I would.
Who would you cast?
Well, here's how I see it. I want Spidey to get the symbiote first in the MCU. I want it to go that route.
Yes.
Then give me Alan Richardson.
Yes! Thank you! That's who I want.
That man is a mountain of a man. And
he
he's
looks just like Eddie Brock from the comics.
but he's also a damn good actor, and he can also go back.
Yes.
There's that. I forgot the name of the show, but he did a show where he was on a football team, and he was like a funny jock. But he was also like
Blue Mountain State.
Yes, Blue Mountain State. He was a jock and a douche, but he was a good guy douche.
Yeah.
Like he didn't put up with people's shit. He didn't let people get harassed. Like he was a good guy. He wasn't a bully. But you can tweak that character, mix it with some Jack Reacher, and lean it towards the more morally ambiguous side. Boom, you have Eddie Brock.
Thank you, my brother from another
So if he doesn't play Batman in James Gunn's universe, which he is up for that role, but I still think Jensen Ackles is the choice there.
Yes.
Then give him Venom have him show up in Secret Wars as Eddie Brock. Have Tom Holland Spider-Man get the symbiote. During his trilogy in the second film, have the symbiote, like have him do the whole thing with the symbiote where he has to get rid of it because it's starting to turn him evil. Have him, like, I'm saying, he starts his first film in his suit. They tease him getting the symbiote at the end of it because they tease Secret War at the end of that first film. He goes through Secret War before his second film and has the symbiote, and he gets it early in Secret Wars because that's actually a 2-part film now. They've already said that. Avengers 4, Secret Wars will be a 2-parter as well. So you have him get it fairly early on in Secret Wars. Let the corruption start to show by the end of it. By the second one, it really starts to get to him, and then we see it even more in his second solo film. We get he's like, oh, I got to get rid of this, and we get everything with Eddie Brock. Like you tease Eddie Brock in the first one. Have Peter Parker take his job in the first film. Now that he's on his own, he's got an apartment, he needs a job.
Yeah.
Have him take Eddie's job in the first film.
I mean, they should
by having better pictures of Spider-Man.
They should really follow the animated series from back in the day because that was my introduction to Venom and Eddie, and it was phenomenal. I mean, you understood why he hated Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
You do it just like that. And then by the second, like I said, the second film is the turmoil. You have other villains, obviously, in the second film. You could even...
for me...
Here's my biggest issue.
For me, Venom...
Go ahead, because I'm about to go on a rant. Go ahead.
All right. For me, the way they did Venom and Spider-Man the Animated Series was the same way they did Mr. Freeze and Batman the Animated Series. Completely changed the origin of the character, and it made sense. And people remember that.
Yeah.
So go on your tirade.
So Sony has got me so worried about this Kraven the Hunter movie coming out in December.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very worried because to me, the greatest Spider-Man villain and one of the greatest villains of all time is Kraven the Hunter. I love him and I love his stories. The Last Hunt is one of the best. It's not just Spider-Man's best story in my eyes. It's one of the best stories in comics. If they don't destroy the Kraven the Hunter name with this film, like they do a halfway decent job, and we're able to introduce an MCU version of Kraven the Hunter, or even Aaron Taylor Johnson if he does a good job, have him hunt Spider-Man in the sequel. One of their fights, Spider-Man and the anger goes too far, and he almost kills Kraven the Hunter, which in turn causes Kraven the Hunter to become more resolute about getting Spider-Man. And the subplot of that film is him getting rid of the suit and Eddie getting it. And then by the third one, we have Alan Richardson as Venom going after Tom Holland. And then you do a Miles subplot in that. I'm okay with introducing Miles as helping Spider-Man with Venom. Because Spider-Man, in the comics, yes, he did defeat Venom on his own. But if you want to make him an absolute villain of a character, an absolute beast of a character, make him require help. Even if it's almost bumbling help from somebody who doesn't understand their powers, like Miles. You know what I mean? Think about when Miles kind of tried to help Peter in the first Into the Spider-Verse, and then Peter dies. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. Like, that kind of stuff. You could do that. I need to call Kevin. I need to call Kevin Feige. Somebody get me his number. Let me
Yeah,
write these
for real.
movies. Let me write these movies, please. What if we get Ned Leeds, Hobgoblin, and Spider-Man 4? That's a possibility too. Like, there's been rumors about that.
Yep.
Would you want
I'd
to
be
see
totally
an
down
Agent
for
Venom
that.
movie? I don't. If Sony did an Agent Venom film, but let Marvel be involved, but did it in the Sonyverse, I like the Flash Thompson we have in the Marvel universe, in the MCU. He would not make a good Agent Venom.
No, not
because
one bit.
that Flash Thompson needs to be a jock who joined the military who lost the use of his legs. That's very crucial to Agent Venom being who he is, and the reason the government picks him because he's already he's a disabled vet under their banner. Flash Thompson in the MCU would never join the military. He's a rich kid that lies about everything, and he lives off daddy's the trust fund from daddy. He's not joining the military. So he would need somebody else to play that role. So if Sony got their head out of their ass and could do an Agent Venom film, then yes. Current Sony and these Spider-Verse films that don't involve Marvel, no, they're going to butcher it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we're getting to something that I think is... This is where I say these movies are fun, but I kind of don't really gravitate to them.
Hey, bro! Mrs. Chen!
I love Mrs. Chen. Why is Venom dancing with her in the middle of a casino? I love Mrs. Chen. Especially when he's supposed to be kind of undercover. In a place where there are more cameras per square inch than any other place in the world. A casino.
Exactly. I mean, why? Why would you do this? Unless maybe it's a dream sequence. Maybe Venom has a secret fantasy about Mrs. Kwan.
Oh, that's even worse.
I know. That's why I said it.
That's even worse. Again, I love Mrs. Chen.
Chen, yeah. Why did I say Kwan?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I love Mrs. Chen. I love her. And I loved her being included in this. I love the fact that she's been that thorough line through all the films.
Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, she could have been such a throwaway character, but they keep bringing her back, and she's great.
She's even in Across the Spider-Verse. The Spot goes to her thing at one point. So I love she's a through point. I love that.
She's like a Nexus B.
Eddie dancing with her. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Again, a way to stay incognito because he's just dancing with this woman who, by the way, exquisitely dressed.
Very.
That dress is amazing. So
yes.
Him in a tuxedo and her, boom. I'm all for it. The Venom dancing with her, not so much. Because again, you're trying to lay low and you're in literally a place that has more cameras per square inch than anywhere else in the world as a casino. Harry Osborn as Agent Venom, kind of like what they did in Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac. The problem there is you have to establish the Osborns.
Yep.
And that's a little bit trickier to do as well. But that is somebody you could bring in and almost do it like, instead of them being high school friends, childhood friends, and he's gone away. Similar to what they did in the Insomniac games. But, okay, so there's a problem there too. Oh, okay, I got it. So the problem is nobody in the MCU knows a Peter Parker. Like, it doesn't exist in their head anymore, remember? Nobody's ever met a Peter Parker in their life. Because Peter Parker didn't exist until that very moment. By erasure from Doctor Strange. In going to school at NYU, which is where he's going to go now because he's not going to MIT, or a fictional New York university, they decided to just make one up, he could meet Harry Osborn that way. Harry could become his new best friend. So there's a way
that would be a totally acceptable cop-out for me.
Yeah. So there's a way to get to Agent Venom that way.
Because, he doesn't have his two best friends. So now he's looking for a new best friend.
He's going to need somebody to gravitate to. And
I'd be totally fine with that.
A struggling rich kid who's trying to make it on his own and not have daddy pay his way. So he's trying to earn his grades and he's struggling. Needs a study buddy. Needs a tutor. Super smart Peter. Boom. Here's the thing.
Perfect.
Let's not do Eddie Brock at all. Let's not do Eddie Brock, and let's do the Insomniac Spider-Man 2. Let's have Harry Osborn be Venom. Because he has a right to be jealous about Peter after a while. Because Peter's going to eventually meet his Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And so instead of a Mary Jane kind of love triangle situation that we got in the Sammy movies, you could do it with Gwen Stacy. You can make a new friend group of Harry Osborn, Gwen Stacy, and Peter Parker in college. She has the affection of both boys. Peter wins out. Jealousy starts. The rich kid who gets everything he's ever wanted didn't get the girl. Doesn't have the smarts. He's smart, not smart enough to pass.
Yeah.
Feels inferior to this poor kid who has nothing. Jealousy starts. Loves Peter to death. But that's a deeper jealousy than just the guy who lost his job to Peter. You know what I mean?
Yep. Very, very. And it's more organic.
And as talked about...
Organic.
Words are hard.
Yeah.
Shirt available in our merch store. As talked about, the symbiotes have a hive mind over the multiverse. So the Venom that licked a TV screen in that post-credit scene when seeing Spider-Man could hive-mindedly lay the foundation into whatever symbiote grabs a hold of Harry Osborn, the one that comes off of Peter that's now been on him. Oh, I got a taste of Spider-Man. I actually got a taste of him, and I want that, and I'm jealous that he doesn't want me. And Harry's like, I'm jealous that she doesn't want me and wants him, and he has everything I want. Boom. Now we have a Venom in the MCU that is totally acceptable. You don't need Eddie Brock. You can cast somebody else. It doesn't have to be an Alan Richardson, but he would still work as a Harry Osborn as well. But it doesn't have to be at that point. You could cast, there's a lot of other people you could go with. You know who I'd like to see in that case? In that case, Taron Egerton. Give me if you're not going to give me Taron Egerton as Wolverine in the MCU, which I don't think they are, give me Taron Egerton as the Harry Osborn who becomes Venom.
I can see that. I think that would work.
Do I know anybody selling a wrestling ring? Unfortunately, I do not. Like, Eddie Brock is great, but there's a way around it in the MCU. So it's not, because the other thing is you're gonna have a constant comparison to this Eddie Brock. Movie they could have him fight Mr. Negative, which leads to the anti-Venom. Like, there's a way to, there's a lot you could play off of from the games.
Yeah, but then I feel like that might be too much to the games, like too close comparisons.
I would appreciate it in a sense because the games, they lean a little bit into the Ultimate Universe version because Venom was created in a lab. And, you could then, and let's be true, the MCU started more so in the ultimate universe style of comics versus modern versus this main MCU. So you could do that in a way. So that you could do it to where you're blending the game and the ultimate universe. If written correctly, like the way we're kind of like generalizing it right now, it does sound a lot like the game. But you could do it in a way where you take those elements from the game and then you take the elements from the Ultimate Universe and you put them together in this new style of storytelling. So I think it would work. And as somebody mentioned, Brock could beat you in a fight at least. That's true. But I kind of like the idea of a Harry Osborn who cannot beat you in a fight because he's never had to. He has probably trained. His dad's probably paid for him to take MMA classes and Muay Thai and stuff like that. But he's never actually gotten into a fight. He's either bought his way out or had other people fight for him. And now it's down to he's so jealous and he's so angry. But this Venom symbiote now gives him the ability to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love the sound of that scenario.
So that would work for me. So Kevin Feige, give me a call. I'll write it.
Yep.
You're welcome. I would straight up do it for royalties only.
Absolutely.
Just a percentage of the box office. I would just take a percentage. Don't even pay me up front. I'll do it. Pay me when we see the end.
Yep.
A Scarlet Spider movie would be cool. A Scarlet Spider movie would be cool, except you have to go through the Clone Saga somehow.
Yeah, and that is just. I mean, I love reading the Clone Saga, but it is such a hot mess.
Bad. It is so bad.
It really is.
It's one of those weird things that like it's like this tastes awful. Why do I keep eating it? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Thing.
This is terrible. I can't get enough.
I'm wondering how you would do that without going the clone route, though, because to have a proper Scarlet Spider storyline, he does need to be a clone of Peter.
Yes.
And I think also the way you do it, especially in film, is you need to have it. You never answer the question if we get the right person, the original person, right.
Yeah.
Because that was something in the comics for quite a while we never knew. Could Ben Reilly have actually been the real Peter Parker, and they were so gaslit by the whole situation that they weren't 100% sure, and the wrong one got picked as the original, that kind of thing. And then it was later clarified that no, Ben Reilly was the clone. But yeah. I don't know how you do that though. Like that requires a ton of film, films. I just don't know how you do that. It'd be cool, but I don't know how you do it. Especially with you've already got so much going on. If they didn't already have a direction with like again Secret Wars and the multiverse and all that stuff, if there was a little bit more openness to what was going on, I could see maybe going that route. But I just don't know if you can.
Yeah, I think you would have to make that like a Disney Plus series because a movie just couldn't handle it. Not even a series of films.
Yeah, not even a trilogy.
No.
And you're not going to get Tom Holland. I don't think to do a Disney Plus series.
No.
And then he'd have to play double. Yeah. You'd want him to play double roles, because the clone looks just like Peter. He dyes his hair blonde.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that's not until like later.
Yeah, I don't know how you would pull that off. It would be cool. I just don't know how you pull it off.
Yeah, because Scarlet Spider is one of my favorite incarnations. I actually have the cosplay in my closet right now. But
I found my Scarlet Spider sleeveless hoodie.
Nice.
I got it out of Loot Crate, and I found it during the move, and I made sure I grabbed it, so I have it.
Hell yeah! I mean, even if you didn't, I could have made you one.
That's true.
Yep, because I made my own.
I might wear it.
It still looks good.
I might wear it when you
still looks good. Let me see. Hang on.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's going to get his Scarlet Spider hoodie.
Yep, there we go. Yep. Ah.
Right on.
Yep. And the suit. Oh, love that suit.
What's going on? TNA is tonight, but tonight is also the Geeks and News podcast where we talk movies, comics, and television. And we're currently breaking down the Venom 3, The Last Dance trailer, which we're going to get back to right now. As soon as I can find my mouse again. Here it is.
There has to be a reason there afterwards.
Hold on. I'm going to go back. Going back there. So here we see another person in Ralph Fiennes, who of course played Dr. Connors in The Amazing Spider-Man 1. However, this is not Dr. Connors. This is a completely different character. They're just a family of hitchhikers going along. We're going to see more about this kid and these two women here in a moment.
Or is this Dr. Connors that didn't go to college to become a professor?
Well, even so, Dr. Connors...
And never had his arm...
Well, Dr. Connors apparently lost his arm at birth. which led to him spending his entire life learning about lizards and science and all that.
But still, he could be. He maybe didn't lose his arm in this. We don't know. But still, it's the same guy.
It's the same guy, but it's been confirmed he's not Dr. Connors.
Okay.
He's
I didn't know the confirmation because like I said, I just saw the trailer today before we went on the air.
No, it's been confirmed. Would Denzel Washington have been a good pick for Kang? I think he would. There's been rumored that they've already cast a new person for Kang. I don't know who, but we'll see. A Shocker film or live action appearance would be cool. We've already had that. We had Shocker in the Spider-Man Homecoming. We actually had two Shockers in Spider-Man Homecoming. We had both versions of the Shocker in Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, you could have Shocker return out of jail. The second one, because the first one is dead, because Vulture blew him up on accident. He thought it was a stun weapon, and it was a disintegration weapon. But the second Shocker, who was arrested, could return as a minor villain and a street-level villain for Spider-Man to face off, even if you want to open the movie that way.
Yeah.
You have friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in New York in his new red and blue spandex going against a Shocker as kind of an opening sequence. Because he's just like the Shocker got out of prison and now he's robbing a bank. That'd be a really cool opening sequence.
That would be a great intro to the next film.
Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. Kevin Feige, call me. Please.
We will write you the next blockbuster Spider-Man film, my friend. We will do it.
Honestly,
and
2%.
Middle school.
2% of the box office. Just 2% of the box office.
Yes.
We'll split it. 2%.
Yes, we'll split.
2% for both of us. Because 2% of $1 billion is a lot of money.
Lot of money. It'd be like the ending scene to the first National Treasure. They only took 1%. And they still were
filthy freaking rich
out. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think you open up the movie with him as like versus the Shocker. I think that'd just be a really cool way of doing it.
Yeah, one, great opening. Two, good callback.
Yeah, so 2% of that is $20 million. That's $10 million each. I think we can live off that. I think we'll be just fine. So yes, 2%.
I'd be happy.
We'll write it.
Happy.
You can pay us after. 2%.
Afterwards.
We want 2% of the royalties in the box office from here till eternity. Just 2% of each film. Of each film.
Yes.
Of each film, but we'll do it. I specialize in screenwriting in film production school, so I'm just saying, I know what I'm doing. I can do this.
He's incredibly humble, ladies and gentlemen.
Apparently, WWE won't book me as a writer. Kevin Feige, you know what to do. Even though everybody thinks I should be writing for WWE as well. Where's my mouse?
Where is it?
This is what happens when you have multiple screens, and one of them's a 55-inch screen.
Oh, God.
Oh, right on, Keegan. Make your own universe, the TGN universe. I've been thinking about making my own comic book universe. I'm thinking about it. I just already have so much on my plate. I don't know if I could, but maybe.
Right, yeah.
Maybe. We'll see about it. All right. But yeah, so this is not Dr. Connors. This is just some kind of like hippie. They're going across country, and Eddie Brock is hitchhiking from Mexico to Las Vegas.
There has to be a reason they're after us.
Eddie, my own, has found us. Jesus Christ!
So those creatures are from the comics. I forgot what they're called, but they are from Kleinor, the homeworld of the symbiotes. So these are accurate, and they look fairly accurate from the comics.
Yeah.
Are you excited for the new Gladiator movie? I am. I want to see where that goes. Because Ridley Scott did it. It wasn't like a new director picked it up and did it. It's a Ridley Scott film.
Oh, he's coming back to it?
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see where it goes.
Is it a sequel or a reboot?
It's a sequel.
Okay.
And I believe it surrounds the kid who kind of, I believe, and don't quote me on this, that it's the kid from the original film, the one that ends up having to be forced to become emperor because he's the only one left in the family.
Right.
I believe it surrounds him, but him kind of like, hey, denouncing his royalty and doing his own thing, kind of thing. So here it goes. Yeah, the Bad Boys movie comes out tomorrow. It actually technically came out today. It's in theaters today. That one came out of nowhere. I didn't even know they were making another Bad Boys film. I thought the last one was the last one. Yeah, it just came out of nowhere. So there's a new Bad Boys film came out today. This one is truly the last one. They made it very clear this time that this is actually the last one. But I thought they kind of said that in the last one, so I don't know. But Devin, we are talking about the Venom 3 trailer and kind of breaking it down. And we're about 3/4 or 2/3 of the way through it right now. But yeah, so those aliens that are popping up, those are from the symbiote's homeworld.
There's an army coming that cannot be beaten. As long as Venom lives, everyone.
So the captions, by the way, and it shows you right here on the captions, they did quote unquote spoil who, what's his name is playing. The guy, he played a detective, and he was the detective that got his back broken, but then had some of the symbiote fall into his mouth. He is Toxin. Now, they are kind of skipping ahead in his storyline, because in the comics, Toxin, like I said, he tried to be a superhero at first. Austin, we normally go live at normal time, 7:45 on TikTok, 7:55 on Twitch and YouTube, p.m. Eastern time. In the comics, he tries to be a superhero, but then the corruption of the symbiote gets to him, and he becomes a villain. This one, it seems that they jump straight to the villain as part of it. And in this one, it's like Venom. As long as Venom lives, everyone on this planet is going to die. So it sounds like he's justified in his villainy, but he's really not, kind of thing. So yeah. I'm interested to see what he's going to look like. I'm glad they didn't show him in the first trailer. Like, the symbiote fully engulfed kind of thing. They don't show him. I'm glad they don't. Let's keep that a secret. They showed Riot in the first trailer of the first film. They showed Carnage in the first trailer of the second film.
I think they did kind of show, like, not him being engulfed by Toxin, but they believe it here in the trailer. They do show Toxin's face.
We'll play it further. I don't remember them showing that. Samurai Jack live action movie thoughts. That would be cool.
I think Dr. Payne is like against the wall, or she's on the ground, and Toxin's talking to her.
Let's see.
Everything will end.
We may not make it out of this alive, buddy.
Eddie, the time has come.
Be honest with me. How fast do you think you can get that thing to go without killing it?
Only one way to find out.
Okay, so I didn't see a Toxin's face when he's talking to her. It's just him. So, what's up, Karina?
Yeah, I think it's like back when they first showed the guy who is Toxin. It's like right a little bit after that.
Let me see here. I'll see if I can. And we'll talk about the horse here in a second.
It cannot be beaten. As long as Venom lives, everyone.
No. It's just him. It's him in human form. But his eyes go blue. His eyes go that piercing blue. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Even
well,
it might be...
play a little bit more. Because I'm pretty sure it's there.
Because this is where Toxin's talking to her. It might be right here.
Yeah.
That might be Toxin and not Venom.
Yeah, because the eyes are completely different.
No, I think that's Venom. Black with the white kind of all over. There's more of those other symbiotes. That is Venom. Right there. That's one of the
Yeah, that's
aliens.
Venom.
Maybe that's what you thought it was. This is right where he's
No.
talking to her. That could be Toxin. That looks kind of small.
Yeah. So,
That could be Toxin, but it may not be too. It may just be perspective. Oh, here, I'm trying to see it. No, I think that's Venom. Oh, no. Because Toxin should be red and black. Like black on the bottom, red on top.
yeah.
Although, because of Carnage, they may go a different route. You know what I mean? So that, I mean, so this could be Toxin, but I don't think it's enough to really see him. So again, I don't feel like they're spoiling anything. You know what I mean? But considering that this is Venom breaking into the facility, I'm going to assume that this is also Venom breaking into the facility, just deeper in. I mean, I could go through the trailer frame by frame later on, but I want to go back just a second here, right here. So some people have speculated that this woman holding the kid is Aunt May and that's a young Peter. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Because unlike the Madam Web storyline, which, by the way, that makes it a carbon copy of the Madam Web storyline, which that movie's terrible. That's set in 1993. This movie's set in modern day. I think it's just a kid. I think this is just a family that was hiking with them.
Yeah, stop looking for connections that's not there.
Yeah, I think that's a stretch. Ashlyn asked, do you think this will be the movie that will move Venom into the MCU? We kind of discussed that earlier. I don't know if it moves him into the MCU or if it opens the door for a Venom character in the MCU. I do believe this will be Tom Hardy's last time as Venom. I do believe this is it. The Last Dance, I think, is more than just a tagline, a subtitle. I do believe this is the last Venom movie from Sony. That being said, with Secret War coming up, we could get an alien symbiote with Spider-Man, and it could lead to another version of Venom in the MCU. I just don't think it'll be this version. Do we ever think you'll ever get a film with the God of Symbiotes? No. As much as I would have loved that, I don't think so.
No.
This would have been the movie to do it. And I just don't think they have the capacity to pull it off. With the invasion of the rest of the symbiotes and the other stuff from his planet, this would have been the movie to do it, and I just don't think they will. The most we'll get is a reference during the hive, like Venom talking about the hive mind, and he might mention Null. But Agent Venom in the MCU, we talked about that as well. You'd have to go a different route with it because the Flash Thompson of the MCU is not Agent Venom material. This Flash Thompson would never join the military. He is a spoiled rich kid. He would never join the military. And so Agent Venom, I think Flash Thompson joining the military and losing his legs and becoming part of a government experiment with the symbiote is crucial to the Agent Venom storyline, being a government agent with the symbiote. However, there are other ways around that. And if you don't make Ned Leeds, the Hobgoblin. You could have Ned fail out of MIT, join the military, and go that route.
Or, maybe he was partying too much and he got kicked out of college. His daddy cut him off, and then he needed something. So, yeah.
I mean, that's true, too. You could do that with Flash. I just don't see him as an agent. I don't see that actor.
No, with his personality, I just don't see it.
I don't see it. Like, he's never played a character that's not kind of a sniveling, almost coward. I'm not saying he doesn't have the range to do it. I'm sure he does. I just don't see it.
Especially not with what we've seen from him, this character so far. It would just be a completely out of left turn.
But with Secret Wars and the multiverse and the collapsing of the multiverse at the end of the multiversal saga, you could introduce a Flash from another universe that's already in the military. Maybe even one that already has the symbiote, but we only see him in a wheelchair at first, you know? Because he's kind of like keeping himself secret. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then...
get the guy who played Flash Thompson and the Tobey Maguire.
Joe Manganiello?
Spider-Man. Yes.
I'd be okay with that.
I would too.
I'd be okay with that. That guy joined the military.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
That Flash Thompson peaked in high school, had nothing else going for him, joined the military.
Yep.
And once injured, eagerly volunteered without knowledge to some government experiments.
Exactly.
So, this coming Sunday, Karina, we have NXT Battlegrounds. I highly recommend everybody be there. We're getting TNA Knockouts champion Jordan Grace going after the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, an insane crossover. We also have All Ego Ethan Page going after Trick Williams for the NXT title. That's going to be insane. There's the 6-woman ladder match for the Women's North American Championship. It's going to be insane. The whole show is going to be insane. Make sure you're here for Battleground Sunday night. They could do a Ned Leeds Agent Venom, but they could also go the Harry Osborn route. We did a whole breakdown of that as well, Ashlyn. Of Harry Osborn, you could do that PS2 version because again, we have a Peter Parker with no friends. Nobody in the entire universe knows who he is. They know Spider-Man exists. They don't know who Peter Parker is. Peter's going to need friends in college. He meets this rich kid who's smart but doesn't like to study or do the work, falls behind, needs a tutor. Boom. Harry Osborn and him become very quick friends. In the meantime, they also meet a Gwen Stacy, and they become the trilogy of friends. Gwen, Harry, and Peter. There's a little bit of a love triangle because they both have crushes on Gwen. Gwen picks Peter. This lays the seed of jealousy in Harry's mind. Because Peter, this poor kid with literally nothing, gets constant straight A's and is doing great and is even tutoring him. And then the girl that they both like falls for him and not playboy rich kid Harry Osborn. I think you get Taron Egerton to play Harry Osborn. That can lead to a Venom, not Eddie Brock Venom, but a Harry Osborn Venom. And you could still get an Agent Venom out of that version. You can lead that version of Venom into an Agent Venom. Because the introduction of Harry Osborn also means the introduction of Norman Osborn. Harry could disown his father, who becomes the Green Goblin, walks away from the family fortune, and joins the military after he's done with the Venom arc. But the symbiote's always there. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's taken from him, but it's always there. You know how the symbiote latches on to people.
Mm-hmm.
So even when not bonded to him, it's still there. And then boom. The government has the symbiote. Harry joins the military. He gets injured. He becomes Agent Venom. Because, hey, the reason we allowed you to join the military, Harry, wasn't because you qualified. It's because we already knew of your past. We've been watching you because we've been watching the symbiote. We knew you had it. We knew you're bonded to it in some way. And now that you're injured and nobody else has survived the bonding experience, we need you to bond with it to be an agent. Kevin Feige, give me a fucking call. I'm writing this shit for you.
2%. That's all we want.
Yep. Clash of the Castle is June 15th. Kind of like if if The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was done correctly. Yes, Ashley.
Yeah.
That's something else that could happen, too. A Superior Spider-Man film, but Harry out of jealousy kind of becomes Superior Spider. And so instead of having to try to do the Dr. Octopus puts his consciousness in Peter Parker's body thing is fucking weird. While I love the Superior Spider-Man line, the logic there is fucking stupid. So don't do that. But say that Peter Parker retires or is severely injured and has to take time off. suddenly this other Spider-Man shows up. Not this big, massive monster of a Venom, but he's a regular-sized guy in a slightly new-looking suit, doing what Spider-Man does, but is more lethal, more aggressive. You could do that.
Plot twist, it was Ben Reilly all along!
That'd be crazy, too. But you could actually blend the Superior Spider-Man story with an Agent Venom story. In that the government is behind it. Spider-Man's gone off the grid. New York needs a Spider-Man. The world needs a Spider-Man. The government would love to control Spider-Man. Agent Venom becomes their Spider-Man. But he's more lethal. He's more aggressive. He uses guns. That's your Agent Venom / Superior Spider-Man in one role. Because honestly, I don't think you can make the whole, oh, Dr. Octopus is dying and he puts his consciousness in Peter Parker's body work.
Yeah.
I think it's just, that's a stupid, convoluted thing that only works in comics. And even then in comics, I was like, meh. In the Kraven trailer, they showed Rhino. Did they? Maybe we'll watch that real quick. You have to keep J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. That, yeah.
Of course.
There's
no substitution.
Did we get to the end of this trailer? We saw the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw the horse.
Yep.
Yep, that was the end of the
Yeah,
trailer.
we just ain't talking about it.
Okay. The horse, I think, is really cool. I'm sorry. I just think it's cool.
It reminds me of... Yeah, it reminds me of the Magic the Gathering card Nightmare. I don't know why, that's just the vibes I got from it. So I would be really surprised if they reprinted the card with new artwork that looks just like this.
Yeah. Okay, so before I go any further, the Kraven Hunter that showed Rhino is not an actual trailer. These are from Screen Culture, and they edit their own trailers together. So, like, this trailer showed Eddie Brock, which he's not involved in this film. But
Each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
oh no, wait. That might be the.
The
There's
world
definitely some
has
stuff
changed.
they added, but the Rhino is shown.
Chaos rules now. Welcome to my world, where the law of the jungle reigns, and I am the king. There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
There's 6 of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now. I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self. My son,
Yeah.
never show mercy. They are paid.
So I'm going to show the official trailer because I think Rhino is actually in the official trailer. That is not an official trailer. That trailer is made with a lot of AI.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey. We are predators.
They say I love Russell Crowe.
Your mother is dead. She died because you sent her away. She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business, yes? Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot. Shoot. He is weak, like his mother. Leave him.
What happened that day?
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self. Tell me about this hunter.
They say he uses a connection with animals to track his prey. And once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
The six of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Why do you hunt?
My father puts evil into the world. I take it out.
I think you have some kind of honor. You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
We're murderers. Isn't that what he taught us? You don't get to do that to me anymore.
Mr. Teglin? Mr. Teglin? Where's Mr. Teglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
So yeah, that's the extended trailer. Yes, Craven did bite that nose off. So Russell Crowe's not really the main villain. He's just kind of the catalyst to make Craven the Hunter. He is kind of the villain, but not. Oh, Sarah, how's it going? Admittedly, out of every Sony movie in the Spider-Verse outside of the ones that Marvel's involved with, the Spider-Man solo films, I have the most hope, but also the most despair for this one. This is the best trailer they've ever put out ever. It doesn't overshare. It doesn't overdo it. I like the hint at the Rhino. It's interesting. It's not a costume. It's more of a drug. He seems to be not so much a drug, maybe so much as he takes a drug to keep himself from becoming the Rhino, and he takes that thing off maybe. But it seems to be some kind of additive. I believe Rhino's going to be the big bad here. That's what they were hinting at. I think the cast is great. This movie comes out in December. Sony pushed it to December. It was supposed to come out on my birthday. Or my birthday week. The 26th of July. It was supposed to come out at the same time Deadpool's coming out. But I want this movie to succeed, guys. I really do. Kraven the Hunter, like I've said, he is my favorite villain of all time. And he's always rid that line of anti-hero villain. I think that the Spider-Man 2 game portrayed his villainous side very well, in that he's just a trophy hunter, and that's all he cares about.
Yeah, very much.
I think, again, everybody if you haven't already read it, go buy the graphic novel collection of Spider-Man The Last Hunt. It's where, Kraven actually buries Spider-Man alive. That scene with the spiders is right out of The Last Hunt, by the way, where the spiders are coming down on him. But Kraven the Hunter takes Spider-Man's black suit, his cloth one, not the symbiote, his cloth one, and becomes Spider-Man for a bit. Takes his web shooters, takes his suit, and becomes Spider-Man. He hunted Spider-Man because that's the ultimate hunt is hunting humans. Well, in a world with metahumans, a metahuman is your ultimate. And somebody with the reflexes of Spider-Man would be the ultimate hunt. So that's why Kraven the Hunter goes after him and then wants to become him. I think it will be the scariest version of the Rhino, and it'll definitely be the best live action, because the other one we got was that metallic. Paul Giamatti, I love him, not the fucking Rhino.
No, I couldn't believe that casting.
So, this movie comes out in December. We'll see how it goes. Again, I had so much hope and so much hype and so much disparity. I'm so conflicted. I want it to be good. I just know Sony's track record. So we'll see how it goes. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is our breakdown of the Venom trailer, as well as a a look at the Kraven Hunter trailer last second there. So
it was a twofer.
Wasn't Kraven and Spider-Man more allies in one of the animated series? Yes.
Yeah.
So no, August 30th was the second date they gave. The newest date is now December. They want to do a Christmas time release because they think that people will be on vacation and go see the movie multiple times. Sony actually said that. Sony execs actually said they believe that if they put it in the holiday season releases, that people on vacation will go see the movie multiple times. That is a crazy thought, considering that the last two films they came out with were absolute bombs. But Sony's also stupid enough to listen to meme culture and re-release Morbius in theaters thinking that everybody wants them to, when it was just a meme. And people were making fun of the film. And that movie did so poorly on that second release.
Yeah.
But, so that is going to do it for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Geeks and Noobs podcast. We are back. We'll be back every Thursday. And we'll even do some in-person co-streams. Because now I'm basically down the street.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot more fun with this kind of stuff. Plus, don't forget, we have NXT Battleground this Sunday. SmackDown tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We also have the Clash at the Castle Subathon coming up next weekend. So make sure you tune in for that as well as all of our other podcasts next week. Guys, for Kel McCosplay, I've been SuperBeard. You've been super awesome. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Bye.
See you later, y'all. Later, geeks. Later, noobs.
The number you have dialed is not available at present. Please leave your message after the beep.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center. Hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows at every single second. Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Kinda came and crushed the competition, hope they get the message. Look, living it fast, spinning my M in the bag. I never go slow, thinking I'll crash. End up a thing in the past, they know I won't though. Big fish catching me, they gon' need a bigger boat. Ironic how the world stops when I spin a globe. Always showing up. Right. Last year's song still holding up. See the name now and they know what's up. Right. Price hit the top and it's going up. I'm a trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller.